I'm on mute. Let's try this again. 3, 2, 1. How you doing, everybody? I'm Ken Bykoff, and welcome to the Peegs Postgame Live. Indiana, 100-77 winners over Marquette in Chicago. A game that we saw what this team is going to be. It's a bunch of threes, and it's a team that shoots threes very well. 14 of 28 from three-point range. 33 of 66 overall. So let's see if my journalism school math works out on that. 66 minus 28 is 38 and 28. Is that right? 66 minus 28. Yeah, there it is. 38 two-pointers, 28 three-pointers. Indiana shoots 50% from the field overall, 50% from three-point range, 20 of 24 from the free throw line. In a game that is awfully encouraging for Darren DeVries and his team. 812-393-2600 is the number. I'm excited that we already have a couple of phone calls, so let's go ahead and get right to them. Caller, if I could have your name, where you're from, and what you got. Oh, that one is said it and hung up. All right, do the next one. Caller, if I could have your name, where you're from, and what you got.
Ken, Peter calling from California.
Hi, Peter. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. What a weekend for Indiana.
It has been an exciting couple of games, to say the least. What are your thoughts on this one?
I had to call in. I'll be quick. One game, but it's just so nice to see stats like that, and hope springs eternal. But just the energy and the threats that we have, and sure, you can nitpick and talk about maybe size in the middle, but just the style of basketball and the offensive juggernaut that we saw today is something I haven't seen in a long time.
Well, not only that, but they're very, very early in their time playing together, and yet here they are playing against Marquette, a team that's on the same level with a very good coach. Indiana just 8 turnovers on the day, just 3 in the first half.
Yeah, exactly. Fundamentals sound, like you said, to have this team be a complete overhaul of the roster and to be able to just put a game like this together at any time during the season, and this early is very promising for the future of this season. But big win. Want to call and say hello, and I'll speak to you next time.
Hey, really appreciate the call. Thanks a lot.
All right, take care.
Take care. 812-393-2600 is the number. There was a moment in this game in the first half that I really stood out to me right away, and that had to do with a play. Sam Alexis had the ball on the close side if you're watching on TV. He passes it into DeVries, and DeVries then finds, I believe it was Trent Sisley in the corner. Now, Sisley wasn't behind the three-point line, but he took one dribble, backed up a couple of steps, and took a three. Now, he missed it, but that's not the point on this thing, is he took that shot, and it was in rhythm. He got his feet right. He wasn't going to settle for a long two. If we're going to do a long two, we might as well do a three. And for a freshman to go ahead and make that kind of decision, I think was really, really critical in this one. And it kind of showed the importance of threes, obviously, but also just how Indiana is able to get those looks, and how Darren DeVries is really hammering this idea into the team early on, and it's just completely refreshing to watch as the Hoosiers are able to put up 100 points. And we can break this down here. Tucker DeVries obviously was absolutely out of his mind for the first half. 24 points in the first half, finishes with 27 points, 9 of 15 shooting overall, 6 of 9 from three-point range. Adds 5 rebounds, 2 assists. He did have 3 turnovers, but he was fantastic. He's a weapon, and he gets a look. It doesn't take long for him to squeeze the trigger on that. Then you have Lamar Wilkerson, 23 points on 8 of 19 shooting, 6 of 10 from three-point range. Only got to the free throw line once. I'd like to see Lamar go a little bit stronger to the bucket sometimes, but Otherwise, I mean, that's really just the nitpick. Had 8 assists to go along with 3 rebounds, 2 steals, and a block. He played 38 minutes, and that is something else that we've seen in these first couple of games. Darren DeVries has been very serious about making sure that his team is able to just be able to get time when they need to. He knows they need time on the floor, and I think that is something that we're really kind of seeing along the way. You have Reed Bailey, 5 points on 1 of 2 shooting. He ran into some foul troubles earlier, played just 13 minutes in the game. Connor Enright, 7 points on 1 of 3 shooting, including that one that he hit was from half court at the halftime buzzer. So kind of a prayer, but still the fact that he was able to knock it down was impressive. 5 assists, 2 rebounds. He did foul out. So there's stuff to clean up here. Tatum Connerway, 4 points, all came from the free throw line, but he had 8 assists, including Indiana, 27 assists on 33 made baskets, folks. That is really a huge, huge amount of assists on made baskets. 27 on 33 made baskets. That means that is a team that is sharing the ball, that is just taking care of business. I mean, that is what is absolutely unbelievable with that kind of thing. It's incredible to me that they were able to do that and just be able to move the ball as well as they have. It is so much different than what we have seen over the past couple of years, and it's really great. Got another caller on the line. Caller, if I could have your name, where you're from, and what you got.
This is Greg from Houston.
Hi, Greg. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Been a great weekend for IU basketball and football, so doing great.
Yeah, it's been a ton of fun to watch, and really yesterday was obviously incredibly exciting. Today, I would say that this is just refreshing.
Yeah, for sure. I had to watch U of H season basketball tickets, so I had to watch Kelvin Sampson yesterday coach their team to victory at the same time watching the Hoosiers football team win on the last minute. So good day all around.
Absolutely. What are your thoughts on Indiana's game against Marquette?
Yeah, it was great to watch. Very refreshing, as you said. Good to see the 3-pointers fly, and good to see them go in as well. I just think the future is looking bright, and don't know what the future will hold for this season as far as postseason and all that. But it's a much more fun team to watch. That's for sure.
Yeah, you get off to it's a small sample, only a couple of games. But, you throw in that Baylor game, you throw in this game. Obviously one is an exhibition and this one's regular season. But still, this is a team that was put together with a bunch of different parts being all thrown together. And, again, 27 assists on 33 made baskets and just 8 turnovers. What you have is a team that is playing as a team, which is something that we didn't see a whole lot of during the Mike Woodson era, especially over the past couple of years.
For sure. They all look like they have fun together and playing together and happy for each other's success. And I don't think we've seen a lot of that over the past few years.
Is there anything that concerns you that you've seen during today's game?
The fouls, obviously, as I think we all saw that, and the size issue. I mean, when you go against bigger teams, and have some physicality, we're going to have some foul issues, but hopefully as the Sicily and some of the other folks can step up when they have to.
Yeah, it's that is absolutely part of the equation, and also the fact that games are officiated differently earlier in the year, as officials try to enforce things that then just kind of devolve as the season goes on. This kind of game, this game was called very tightly in a way that a Big Ten game isn't generally, and so that is absolutely a team that's going to have to prepare for the physical play in the Big Ten in a way that they didn't really get a chance to work on today.
Yep, for sure. That way too many whistles in my opinion. A lot of ticky-tack fouls, but as Tom Crean said, you've got to adjust to the game, and I'm not sure our guys really did that, but Marquette didn't either. So that was refreshing. It was okay to see.
What do you think of Crean as an announcer? I've always liked him. I've told him that I think that he's very good at it.
No, I think he's really good. He has great insight. Obviously, studies the game quite a lot. I understood that when he got the late call last night, he was up all night studying tapes, and I think it showed. He knew the teams very well for second game of the season for Indiana, for sure.
Absolutely.
So appreciate what you do for all the Peaks community, and love the call-in show, and hopefully we look forward to hearing you on the next couple football games after two more victories in the Big Ten championship after that.
Looking forward to it. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks. 812-393-2600 is the number. Lines are open. Go ahead and hit us up. Going to try to see if we can get Darren DeVries post-game press conference. Hopefully we will be able to. I don't know if that's something that is going to come through, but we'll make every effort, to say the least. Indiana, for this game, we talked about the foul trouble that we had, or that Indiana had early on. They were in the double bonus, but within the first couple of minutes of the first half. In the bonus, not the double ones, but in the bonus. And that is something that has to get cleaned up. Certainly you want to make sure that Reed Bailey doesn't make foul trouble a habit, because that isn't something that is going to be entirely sustainable for the Hoosiers. But I do think that this is a team that defensively did a good job of moving their feet, did a good job of harassing Marquette along the way. It is a matter of Marquette shot 37.3% for the game, just 25% from three-point range. They did shoot 33 free throws, but Indiana made them work for it and had a hand in their face, and I thought did a nice job of, at the very least, making Marquette work on offense to get their buckets. Marquette did a good job of spacing Indiana out. Communication continues, isn't a work in progress, but it's something that they definitely have to work on. 812-393-2600 is the number. We got another call. Caller, give me your name, where you're from, and what you got.
Hi, I'm Charlie, the intern from Ellisville, Indiana, and I'm just above your head upstairs. And I was wondering, how do you think some of the substitute bench players did today?
Well, Indiana, they've been pretty light on their rotation, if you will. You had, Josiah Miles, Sam Alexis, Trent Sicily. Those are the three guys that really were the main rotation guys. You had a couple walk-ons come on for the last minute of the game. But I liked what I saw from Sicily. He's a freshman, 15 points on 7 of 12 shooting. He was way more aggressive today than we saw in the last couple of games. Sam Alexis is a kid that I like a ton. 13 points on 4 of 6 shooting. He added 5 rebounds, played 26 minutes, led the Hoosiers at being plus 34 on the night. And then Josiah Miles played 14 minutes, was very effective. And I like Indiana's depth, because you don't have a lot of drop off when guys are coming in. Obviously, we'll see how that goes as the season goes on. But certainly for playing early on in the season, I was very happy with what I saw.
Yeah, one more thing, bear down.
Bear down. Thank you so much for the call.
Welcome.
812-393-2600 is the number. Charlie, the intern. My son. That's calling from my wife's cell phone. I recognize the number. But, this is an IU team that is off to an excellent start to the season. And, when you are a new head coach, you have so many new players and trying to meld everything together, you don't know what you're going to get. And I thought Indiana has done a very good job of blending all of those guys together. And going on the road and playing at the United Center is really important, too, because Indiana's able to knock down shots in a foreign environment. Some of those guys may have played at the United Center before. A lot of them have played in arenas that size. But still, being able to bring your game on the road, bring your shooting on the road away from home is something that is really important. And it's very clear that, for a number of these guys, they just have to get used to shooting in a lot of different environments. And Tucker DeVries, obviously, 2,000-point scorer for his career, was absolutely on fire in the first half, set the tone for this basketball team. And then in the second half, it was Lamar Wilkerson. In the second half alone, Wilkerson, 15 points on 5 of 11 shooting. All 5 of those makes came from three-point range. And then he throws in 4 assists along with that. So Indiana got ahead, never let Marquette really put together a run. They had, I guess, if you want to talk an 11-3 run when you're already down, nearly 20 points, that's one thing. They cut it to a 10-point lead, but then Indiana took control. Is Marquette an elite team this year? No, they're young, but still, they're a well-coached team. And so being able to be as effective as they were against a program that is up and running at a much more consistent level compared to a coach that just got here in April is really, really important and just shows a ton of growth. And now you have Indiana with a big win over Alabama A&M, Indiana with a big win over Marquette, a 23-point win over Marquette. And now the next couple of games, you're talking about Milwaukee, Incarnate Word, and Lindenwood, 3 directional schools, all at Simon Scott Assembly Hall. Next 3 games are a chance to really build confidence and grow, and everything is set up for Indiana to get to a real nice 5-0 start before Kansas State comes to town. And again, Kansas State should be a lot like Marquette in a team that is kind of on the same page as the Hoosiers. It's just a much different energy to this team than what we've seen. And that is something that just can't help but just bring a lot of happiness to any IU fan that is out there. 812-393-2600 is the number. Line is open. Join us on, to throw in your comments on the chat. We want to hear from you. You guys aren't here to hear me. That is, we want to hear from you. So please pick up that phone, send a question. Happy to hear from you. Also, again, looking forward to hearing from from Darren DeVries during his post game. That'll take a little bit of time, but we'll get there. I really liked quite a bit just the way this ball club took off right from the start. That to me is what most pleases me about this game, is that they were able to get off to that fast start. I think it was tied early, like 8-8, but Indiana's shooters just found their stroke, and that's the kind of thing. When the ball is moving as well as it is, it makes you very, very difficult to defend. One of the things that was an issue for Indiana last year was you just felt like Indiana was very easy to defend at times because they went into the post, because of how much they relied on going to the bucket and not having a three-point game at all, allowed teams to pack the paint and try to dare them to beat them that way. That isn't going to be an issue this year. If you have guys that can knock down shots and guys that could use the threat of that shot to set up their drives and then kick and drive out of that, it goes a long way towards making teams scramble. And again, in the second regular season game of the year, 27 assists on 33 made baskets against a team from a power conference. That bodes well for the future. And also shows kind of the chemistry that this team has early. It's also the second straight game where I really didn't see a lot from anybody that makes you scratch your head or makes you wonder about how they are as a player. And what I mean by that is I haven't seen a situation yet where you see a guy force something. A guy just decide it's me time. And it's I'm going to go ahead and get what I need. You don't see a lot of selfishness on this roster. And for Darren DeVries to put together a roster, and get everybody to buy in right away and realize it's not about them, I think is really important for this ball club. It really, really is. 812-393-2600 is the number. Want to hear from you. I understand it is a NFL Sunday and that we just had a post-game show yesterday. And for that one, of course, Indiana's football team winning 27-24 over Penn State. And the update on that when it comes to Penn State or for IU football is that the Hoosiers in the rankings remain at number 2 in the coaches poll. It's interesting that Ohio State is the number 1 team in the nation, 59 first place votes. Then you have Indiana. Then you have Texas A&M with 4 first place votes. And this is kind of about basketball, but we're open to talking about football all we want to. I've been pretty open about how much I dislike the polls, how I kind of think they're stupid. And it's nice that it's part of it. It gives people something to talk about during the week. But the idea that somehow Indiana's 3-point win at Penn State just isn't that impressive because, Penn State has lost 6 straight. I don't know what if Oregon's win over Penn State was impressive at Penn State a few weeks back. I understand the season that has happened. I get it. But from a talent standpoint, and when you're looking about where these guys are on paper, it's not like Penn State has been god-awful. And so if you're watching this and dismissing Indiana or looking down your nose at Indiana for only winning by 3 against Penn State, then there's, I don't know what to tell you. You just have a ton of SEC bias. It is an Indiana team that is every single week people move the damn goalpost on them. Every single week. It's, this is their test. They're going to play Illinois, and Indiana puts 63 on Illinois, and people are like, well, I guess Illinois is not that good. And then you have Oregon. They beat Oregon at Oregon, and they're like, oh, well, Oregon maybe hasn't been here. It's having just a hangover from the win over Penn State. Or, you beat Iowa, and they're like, well, yeah, but Iowa isn't all that great to begin with. Same thing with Michigan State. Same thing with UCLA. And every single one of these wins, it is, if Indiana wins, it must mean the other team isn't good. Cut the bullshit and get right to it. Indiana's a good football team, and the idea that they somehow should, that the number 3 team in the nation should get 4 first place votes and Indiana gets none is ridiculous. And I don't want to hear it about also the coaches poll. By the way, those coaches are not watching every single one of the games and making a decision about it. The coaches poll shouldn't exist, but that's me. 812-393-2600 is the number. If you want to talk some basketball with us, I'm more than happy to do that. Want to hear from you. Indiana, by the way, Marquette had a total of 12 points from 3-point range. You want a reason why Indiana won as big as they did. Marquette had 12 points off of threes. Indiana had 42. So now what you do, what it's going to force teams to do is to extend your defense. Indiana's going to see a lot of zone. Extend your defense and try to shut them down on the perimeter, which is fine. But then if you have good spacing, you have good ball movement, you're going to open up lanes to cut to the basket. And that's what adjustments you're going to have to see, heading down the way. And we'll see if they're able to do it. But I am very pleased with what I saw from this IU team today. Especially on the heels of what we had on Wednesday. 98 points on Wednesday, 100 today on a neutral site against another power conference team. It's a big deal. It's a very big deal for Indiana to have that kind of efficiency when it comes to their offense. And I know everybody really wanted Indiana to score 100 against Alabama A&M, and basically we're held scoreless for the last 4 minutes of the game in that one. You know, you get to halftime and you already have 56 points. That is just incredible efficiency. In the first half alone, Indiana, 17 of 35 from the floor overall, 7 of 14 from three-point range, 15 of 16 from the free throw line. You're talking about a team that last year did not shoot three-pointers well, did not shoot free throws well. The entire Mike Woodson era the story was poor free throw shooting, poor shooting from the perimeter, a lack of an effort to get shots from the perimeter. It's a new coach. It's a new era. It's a whole new team. But this is just a completely different game that Indiana is playing, and it is so refreshing to see and something that I enjoy seeing so much because of the fact that, look, Indiana has just been so incredibly efficient over the past couple of games. And it's a ton of fun to watch, to say the least. 812-393-2600 is the number. Just getting the video now of Tucker DeVries, Connor Enright, and Darren DeVries from their post-game press conference. So we'll be playing that in just a few minutes. I think that what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to turn my camera off on this and let you guys hear it, because otherwise you're just going to watch me listening to the press conference along with you guys, which, I mean, I don't care. That's perfectly fine as well. But wanted to hear from Coach DeVries his thoughts on the game to this point and on the season, on this game. So let's go ahead and hear from Darren DeVries during his post-game press conference via some video from Peegs.com.
I guess, Darren, in particular, just how important was kind of the offense you got from Tucker in the first half, the offense you got from Lahr in the second half? I know you have the foul trouble. Marquette makes a couple runs, but just always having that player that's kind of anchoring what you're trying to do offensively that answers every Marquette burst.
Yeah, I thought that was, obviously, big performance from Tuck in the first half. Just got us going, and that's a little bit how our team is built. Just having different guys that can always get in one of those zones a little bit, and Tucker certainly had it in the first half, and then the second half, Lamar got going. So that was something that I really like about this team is we have a lot of different guys that are capable of having moments like that throughout the game. So it was overall great team effort from our guys, and really proud of a lot of different contributions that we got tonight.
Robbie and then Daniel.
Yeah, Tucker, just for you, when you have a half like that, just sort of what leads to it, and what's it like just when it's going in again and again and again?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, for anybody, like when the ball's going in, it's a little easier, a little more aggressive, a little more confident. So obviously that helps a little bit, but it's really just staying in the moment and just still playing within the offense, and then as you get going, you're starting to feel more confident in what you're doing. But I thought the offense, both halves, did a great job of just playing. We played very well together. I thought 27 assists. I thought that was really good, especially for their pressure. It was really cool.
Daniel and Mike.
This is kind of broad, but just, you score 100 points. You guys made, I think, 14 threes. Just when you look at that, what can you kind of pick and say, like, okay, this can translate throughout the year?
Yeah, I just think overall that we just got a group, and I've been saying this for a while, and you're starting to see it now that we're playing games. They're just a really unselfish group, and that's what leads to some of the scoring opportunities we get. Is the guys really understand the game. They're very willing passers and understand moments like when Tucker has it going, they understand to keep finding them. Lamar has it going. We have guys that understand to keep finding them, and then the guys contributed in different ways. we should have probably built off of Connor's, half-court shot at half. It was hot, and we should have gotten another one after halftime. But just getting the guys, like, it's a group that really, I think, plays very unselfishly every night.
Mike and then Alec.
Darren, how do you balance wanting you guys to be aggressive on defense with the way the game was being called? Were you disappointed at all maybe that they didn't adjust better, especially with you guys were shorthanded, to just the way the game was being officiated?
We need to do a better job. We got a little handsy at times, and we got to clean that up. We have to be physical with discipline, and that's our number one thing right now is continue to get into the ball, continue to be aggressive, challenge ball handlers, challenge screeners. Just do it with a little more or a little less hand activity, so we can still be physical and not foul.
Alec and Mike.
Darren, just with Lamar Wilkerson, career high 8 assists today, just what does he bring as a ball handler and as a playmaker, obviously outside of his shooting ability to you guys offensively?
Yeah, he did a really good job today. He was one of the guys that as we got into the flow of the game, we were using him a little bit more of that facilitator, and in the second half, he got rewarded back, with guys finding him. But again, those guys I just like how they played within themselves. We talked about it before the game, just staying composed. I feel like Marquette's really a team that thrives on making big runs. They've always been that way, and we couldn't let their presses and their tenacity on defense speed us up. So we needed to stay within ourselves, trust the offense, trust our movement, and I thought the guys did that.
Mike and then Josh.
Connor, from your vantage point, 27 assists and 8 turnovers against a program that's known for creating havoc defensively. Like, what was the key going into the game to make sure you guys were able to accomplish that?
Yeah, just playing tough and playing strong, off 2 feet, with turnovers. That's how they get their offense. So we thought if we could limit that, we would limit them in their transition game, and I think we did a really good job of that, and we practiced it a lot in practice, so it worked out.
Josh and then Jim.
Connor, being back in Chicago, getting the standing ovation as you leave the court, what's that like? What's that feeling?
It's really cool. I had a lot of family and friends here, and just people that maybe watched me in high school or I knew. So it was really awesome to come back here and get a big win, and it's awesome. I don't know words for it.
Jim and then
Darren, coming into the season, obviously a lot of questions about this team with the height and all of that today, short-handed, everything that was going against you guys, but you guys were shooting the ball, you were playing great defense, 27 assists. What did this game tell you about this team going forward, even though you're short-handed?
Well, I think we have a very resilient group. We have a lot of guys that played a lot of basketball, so it's a veteran group for the most part, and then we have some younger guys that are sprinkled in there as well. But overall, it's very early in the year, but again, I like the approach this team takes every day. I like the way they approach practice. I like the way they are in tune to a scouting report, and how they prioritize that because all those little different areas and buckets are what eventually lead to you winning and losing. And I think our guys do a good job of kind of taking it all in and making it a priority.
Back here.
Coach, how big was Sam and really the whole bench today, stepping up and playing more minutes with all the downtime?
Yeah, it was great. We had certainly some different lineups out there that we haven't had a lot of. So the guys did a really good job of, and they put in the time to be ready for it too. Like we've had guys in practice, and we've worked on it more and more here recently of getting guys in multiple positions, which is, a lot of times that's hard to do, especially when you got a whole new group. To have guys that have to go in and run an out of bounds play in a position that maybe they ran like one time. So I thought the guys just did a good job. The number got called, they got put in a position, and they were able to go in there and execute it.
Trevor?
You were talking about Marquette kind of thriving off runs. They made that run the second half to cut it to 10 with about 14 minutes left. What did you see going on for Marquette, and then kind of how did you change that momentum, obviously extend the lead right after that?
Yeah, I don't remember the exact sequence. I know they hit the 3 there to cut it to 10, back-to-back buckets there. But I felt like our transition defense was faltering us a little bit. We weren't getting back. We weren't getting, our walls built to keep them from getting to the paint. And then, offensively, we got a little stagnant there as well. So I thought, we came out of the timeout. We were able to get a good possession, and then, put a couple stops together to kind of get that lead built back up. So I think Lamar also helped that a little bit there too.
Last question, Ravi.
Yeah, Coach, Why a team that's only been together a few months? Why are they such willing passers and such unselfish passers?
I think they're just good basketball players. They understand it. I think they prioritize winning. None of them, really care who gets the credit. They talk about it every day. It's like I watch them do this in practice all the time. So, one day, TC may get one shot. There might be a day he gets 10 shots and he doesn't care. He just plays to win, and that's what this whole group I feel like is really bought into right now, and they'll continue to get better and better because it's important to them.
Thanks, guys.
So there's Darren DeVries during his post game. Some interesting things. Again, we got to also listen to Jeff Rabjohns do some breathing along the way there. This is an IU team that it is clear. Look, we haven't known Darren DeVries for a long time. It's just a few months, but he does seem to really like these guys, and his interactions with them have been very good. And it's easy to do that, obviously, early in the season, but he brought in a lot of veteran guys who've played basketball elsewhere who seem to fit very well. And that's a huge part of the equation is, you put together a roster like a puzzle. Guys have to fit together. And to me, that is what is really impressive in his roster building on how guys complement one another. You're building a program from scratch. It's not easy to go ahead and piece together a roster, especially when he had to, and then to pick out the right people, to put them together the way that he needed to, and then to get everybody to buy in right away, I think is just incredibly smart. See a note here on Twitter that Shaka Smart said that he saw clues Indiana was coming together as a cohesive team back against Baylor. And each one of these games is building on the previous foundation. I talked about this yesterday with the football game where you had Indiana beating Penn State, but it was lessons learned in beating Oregon and Iowa and Michigan State last year. All those things just coming together and building on one another. Every team is different, but you have a culture that that is being set right now. And I think that that's really important for this ball club. 812-393-2600 is the number. If we don't have some calls here, we're going to wrap this up early. I'll let you watch your NFL Sunday. I'm perfectly fine with that. We have won't have a call-in show on Wednesday after the Incarnate Word game, or maybe we will. Might not have one after Incarnate Word. Let's see. When is that Incarnate Word? Oh, no. I'm going to look at when the next basketball game is. Next basketball game is Milwaukee on Wednesday. I have a schedule of these things. And we got Penn State, Marquette. So we won't have one during the week. We'll have a regular morning after, but we won't have a call-in show during the week with this. But this next game, I think, is going to be an interesting one. We do have a caller. Caller, if you have your name, where you're from, and what you got.
Hey, Ken. Michael calling from Southwest Florida. Glad it's basketball season and glad to talk to you. And glad we have a real coach again, and it is awesome and refreshing to see.
That word is what it keeps coming up, not just out of my mouth, but from just people that you're talking to, is refreshing. That it's just really, really a joy to see these teams, this team play. It's just refreshing compared to what we've seen over the last couple of years.
Well, I think, a lot of times I feel like a lot of people have been talking about our three-point shooting as if we haven't been hitting them over the past several years. The truth is, I always felt like, especially with Woodson's teams, it didn't even feel like we were taking them. We would pass up so many threes. Even Miller Kopp didn't really look to shoot.
Right.
It's so great to see DeVries and Wilkerson. I mean, they're they're ready to fire at all times.
Well, I mentioned the play where Sisley got his feet set in the corner in the first half. There was another play in the first half as well to where Tucker fed a ball to Wilkerson on the perimeter, and Wilkerson, I can't remember if he made the shot or he missed it. I want to say he missed it, but the whole point is that the pass went to a spot that Wilkerson was not at. But Tucker did a great job of leading him to the spot and getting him the pass on the other side of a screen, so the second he could catch it, it could go up and shoot it. And those are all plays that are designed to get threes, and that is what has really was missing over the past several years, is plays designed to get Indiana threes. So you're exactly right. Not only weren't they making them, they weren't taking them. And now you have an offense that is being run designed to find those shots.
Yeah, and I think, I think the key to this year's team is going to be health. If Wilkerson or DeVries go down, that's going to be a major blow.
Yep.
But with those two, I think we're going to be in every game because we have two guys in the team that could go for 30 plus any night that they play. And like, you see today, you got 50 plus out of those two. That's going to happen a lot this year.
Yeah, and especially if they're playing as efficiently as they are. Yeah, I want to see more out of Reed Bailey. Yeah, I want to see, Tatum Connerway have a couple of moments. But those two guys are the main guys. And so now if you could start with these guys playing at a good high level, getting everyone else to join them. I say it all the time. It's something Kelvin Sampson said, that you don't play February basketball in November. And if you're in November, you're scoring 100 points against a power conference team, you have a good start.
Oh, 100%. I think they've got the key is the team has got to stay healthy. Ideally, if you can get Dorn healthy, that's going to be a major addition. I think Alexis is going to be good all year. He looks like he fits the bill. Bailey is the question mark. He looked good the other night, but today he didn't look so great. Bailey plays well. They stay healthy. I think they're going to be better than people think. I think DeVries is just a great coach, and then the way they're playing, they're going to be able to recruit. They're going to get guys. I mean, they're just firing threes. Kids are going to want to play them.
Absolutely, and that is key as well. It's a system that you want to play because you like the system and you think you can be successful in the system. I got the feeling at times that in the past couple of years, sometimes guys were here because of the NIL money. And, coming in, wanting to play in a good system for a coach that is going to develop you, I think is really, really critical as well. So, yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be very attractive on the recruiting trail.
The question is, I just told my wife this, are we entering the golden era of IU sports? We know we're with Signetti. If DeVries is the guy, the golden era.
Time will tell on that. But, Terry Morin does a great job with the women's basketball team. Sig is got Indiana doing what Sig has got Indiana doing. And, this is off to a great start. So, yeah, it's pretty exciting for IU fans everywhere, I think.
Yeah, well, nice talking to you. I'll enjoy listening in later.
I appreciate it. Enjoy South Florida.
Thanks, Ken.
812-393-2600 is the number. There was some discussion about all the fouls during this game. There were a total of 44 fouls called. And somebody on Twitter said, I'm sure officials have been told to clean things up early in the year. It's a little disappointing to see veteran players continue to reach, slap down, and poke the ball even after they're in foul trouble. Officials can only go by what they see, and those actions look like a foul. My biggest thing is that this happens every year, to where officials call things very tight, and then it goes back to the mean along the way. The reaching and doing that kind of stuff, yeah, you can't put yourself in a position to be called for a foul. And so that's something to work on. Is it going to be called this tightly through the whole season? Probably not. Definitely not. But early in the season, this is what you got, and you got time to work on it too. Because again, looking at the schedule, Indiana's got Milwaukee on Wednesday, Incarnate Word next Sunday, then Lindenwood. So if Indiana loses or struggles against any of those opponents, people are going to set their hair on fire. Then you have Kansas State, which will be a challenge on November 25th. The Saturday after Thanksgiving, it's Bethune-Cookman on at noon at Simon Scott Assembly Hall. And then you have Minnesota and Louisville. So all of these things, basically, the non-conference season is shaping up pretty well. This was the first test for Indiana, and they passed it with flying colors. And now, obviously, you have a couple of cupcakes before you get into a string of Minnesota, Louisville, Penn State, and Kentucky, and then a couple more easy ones to finish out. But you had these 5 power conference games. Well, I guess there's 6 with Kansas State. No, Kansas State, Minnesota, Louisville, Penn State, Kentucky, and Marquette. Okay, so they got one of those there. Got 5 more to go. A couple of conference games. You got Kentucky, you got Louisville. So you got opportunities to prove yourself. If Indiana continues to play anywhere near the level that they are at, they're going to be ranked in due time. The size is going to be interesting when they do play bigger teams. That is going to be something to watch. And, like the caller said, injuries are a part of this equation too. But right now, Indiana's healthy, and they'll take it. A Sunday afternoon in Chicago, 100-77 win over Marquette. An exciting game. From what I understand, the atmosphere was fantastic in the United Center. Indiana fans as a whole are rejuvenated, are feeling a huge sense of relief right now at what they've seen early on here in the Darren DeVries era. Being able to just simply enjoy watching basketball and not having possession after possession be where you're thinking to yourself, what in the hell are they doing? What am I watching? Is no small thing. Makes you appreciate it when you see it, doesn't it? I know it does for me. Going to go ahead and wrap this up here. It's, again, NFL Sunday. I understand all of that. We had the call-in yesterday, but exciting game. Fun to watch. Lots to build on, but lots to get a lot better on, too. As you heard Darren DeVries talk about, there are areas where Indiana can get better, and they will get back to work and continue to develop as the DeVries era, continues. Well, that's all the time we have on the Peegs Postgame Live. I want to thank you for listening, and I want to remind you to visit Peegs.com for the very best in IU football and basketball coverage you're going to find anywhere. Nobody covers Hoosier recruiting better than Jeff Rabjohns, Matt Weaver, Trevor Andershock, and Jared Kelly. So come be a part of a thriving and exciting community at Peegs.com. Folks, you are not going to be disappointed. Folks, we're out of time, but for now, and for Jeff, Matt, Trevor, and Jared, I'm Ken Bykoff saying thanks for listening, everybody.